Loud and clear. Big Bada's back in the building, dudes. Yo, what's up, man? I'm silly. You know what I mean? I'm back on it. First of all, thank y'all. Thank y'all so much, man. For the support. It's been beyond unbelievable. Um, I wake up and I'm completely in shock and awe sometimes by the messages you guys send me and the love you guys send. The energy's crazy. Yes, of course I'm high as a kite. That's why they call me Brian McKnight, baby. You know what we do. You know what I mean? I got 13 fingers tonight. You know what I mean? 13 fingers. Let's go. Let that smoke linger. Earn me. Let's see if I can get through this, man. I just want to answer y'all questions tonight. I haven't got to talk to y'all in a minute. I just been working. I just dropped Manifest Destiny with Loaded Lux. It's just unbelievable. God works in mysterious ways. If you don't want to use the word God, whatever you wanted to associate it with, it's just amazing, man. Thank y'all, man. Shit, so much shit is moving. Speed of light. If I don't get to your questions, re-ask them 1,000 times. I'm gonna let me just reignite real quick. To start off, just 2 nights ago, I dropped an epic album to end the year with shout out to Loaded Lux and Black Magik. Manifest Destiny. You can go get that now at manifestdestiny.com or blackmagicmusic.com. It's exclusive to that website right now. Soon we'll be releasing it on Bandcamp, Audio Mac. Then soon after that, we'll be releasing it to all the other DSPs, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, etc. to get the whole treatment. But right now it's exclusive. Got to keep it exclusive at first. For y'all that don't know that how this industry works, you do a deal, you do a album deal. It takes a while to get paid from that. It takes until you recoup, you know. But doing this independently, we can pay our bills immediately. So that's how it works. This how right here. This is I skate New York. So I skate New York. I skate New NY at Instagram is where you get these hats. Get these sweaters right now at cambattamusic.com, the hoodies. We also got the face masks. I also got another surprise for y'all. The solar vinyls came out. I got those. I got the exclusive autograph ones, though. If you want those, you can hit up my Cash App. I got the solars in just now. Solar and Lunars. Signed copies. If you buy them from the website, they're not going to be signed. These are signed. Blessed. I breathed on them. You might have a little bit of aromatic surprise involved. They're COVID free. $44. I'm selling the vinyls for $44. Shipping involved. So just hit up the Cash App and put your email address in there, and I'll know it was you. $44. We got the signed Lunar and Solars. $22. We got this. $22. We got the signed CDs. You know what I mean? Or exclusive. You know what I mean? With the certificate of authenticity involved in the mix. You know how it is, man. So, yo, I know maybe some of y'all heard Manifest Destiny. Maybe some of y'all didn't. I'm definitely open to hearing what y'all think about it. Like, I never created an album like this. We created it so fast. Me and Lux have different writing styles, so it was beyond specific to that kind of sound. So this ain't a normal Cambatta sound. This ain't a normal Lux sound. This is all new sounds. So it's not your typical album. Acts of fire, So let me know what y'all think about it, man. Fuck. This fucking year has been crazy though, man. Let me go back into the questions, man. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Bakery Music, shout out to Bakery Music. We got some coming. Check them out. They did a couple of Cambatta reaction videos. I'm really thankful for those brothers. They they put a lot of people on to me, man. So I'm very Aaliyah Horn, BBY Amun, Sequoia Webb, um, Alex Little. Thank you for your support. Always showing support. Actually, me and Alex Little, we got a song together. So show her support. That song is fire. We got Sheila Clater, Dante Hanson. Peace. Thank you for your love. Thank you, Sheila. I always see you in here showing love, yo. That like I don't know how much more I like. I wish you guys could feel how thankful I am sometimes. Like I'm not somebody who does this for my relationship with hip hop, and why I do it is different than the typical rapper. It's why I haven't seen the same overall grandiose popularity, because um I live in isolation chamber, man. So for me, there's a level of shyness that comes with this for me. And to see so many people just consistently rocking with me, you guys are really holding the tower up. So, and I got a lot of life in me. I got a lot of shit I need to do. So thank you. Dante Hanson, thank you. Rajat, I see you, bro. Thank you, man. You're attached to it. Love from India. Thank you. Jay Raya, favorite color. The favorite color is the number W. Thank you. Mitch, Carlos A, Tac J2, Illegal Productions. Let's work. If you a producer, let's work. Jordan Ford, King Energy 44. Mitch, thank you. I want to go through some questions before I start. Rajat says the way you use breathing in production and lyrics and pauses makes the music so dope, man. Thank you. Musicology, observation. What makes you like music, and then do that. Trav, I forget about you, Trav. We got some magic that we working on. Me and Trav. Shout out to Trav, yo. Another amazing supporter, artist himself. We got something in the works. Estevan Rodriguez, thank you, bro. Is there any way to stream? I answered that. Right now, it's just manifestdestinymusic.com to go purchase the album. Soon it'll be on DSPs, but y'all gotta wait a little while for that. Katrina Stevens asks, you should do a track with Soleil. Yeah, man. I'm down to work with everybody, especially people that have a grand light and that possess a fan base that syncopates with my music, that vibrates with what I'm saying. So yeah, I suppose that will definitely probably happen. So am I doing DMT with Joe Rogan? I hope so. You know what I mean? I there's been a lot of people on Joe Rogan's show, and no people really describe it the way that I believe that I could describe it, or have quite the experiences I had. I mean, just to give you guys a little background of my psychedelic experience. I didn't start until I was in almost my mid-20s, but I hit the ground running. I believe I have some kind of psychological, like my biochemistry in my head, there's something going on, because anytime I do psychedelics, it's extremely intense. It's intense to be around me when I'm on psychedelics. Like even just the other day when we released the Manifest Destiny, before the release, me and Lux had a DMT ceremony in the park in Brooklyn. And then afterwards, shout out to Uncle Hank, we did a toad we did a toad ritual in the park. And they got to see Bada's true colors out there, man. It was it wasn't World Star completely, but that stuff will turn you into a superhuman. Let's just say that. Let's say I was running at least 40 miles per hour. I was looking at people in the front car at their window, just running like hush, 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 running like a fucking Mongolian, like a Mongol, dude. So let's move on. So does this also happen to you? Feeling in essence of writing changes when you're sober, not high. I actually developed my rhyming style. I developed rapping sober minded. I rapped for about 10 years without touching weed, drugs, anything. And it was more difficult. It was more difficult. I would have to find windows to where I could hit flow state. Like I didn't write every day. I wasn't like a real avid writer. I wasn't an avid reader or avid writer. I would just eventually I would put myself in a position where I had to write the rhyme, you know. And me and my boy Pat, shout out to Pat Sways, we just be up in our room listening to beats, freestyling for hours and hours and hours and hours sober. And then once I started smoking weed and I realized what it did, you know, then I attached marijuana to writing, and now anytime I do anything musical, I have to have weed. You know, I don't think that it's a crutch, but it is a extreme luxury that I rather have every time, you know. So let's see what else we got here. I'm gonna try to get to everything. So let's see. I was on a live, dope as fuck. Being high makes it so easily revealing. Much people telling me best cobbler. Yo, shout out to Phoenix. Shout out to Phoenix, man. You know, my business partner, man. We actually it's crazy. Like literally right after we dropped LSD, like everybody moved. Everybody separated. I actually moved from the Bronx back to Connecticut. I'm in fucking Westport. Yeah, Westport. I'm in Westport, Connecticut right now. And I was in the Bronx. Nick's now here in Maryland. It's like everything changed, man. And shout out to Eddie Deuce. He's still in the Bronx right now. You know, so we had to we've been it's a transition process. It's crazy because I came down to New York in 2015 and the main goal was LSD. And in between making LSD, I made everything else. And then it's like as soon as LSD came out, I'm out of New York. It's like literally I came to New York to create that project and everything in between that. Because I don't know if you remember, prior to me creating prior to 2015, I only had my Smoke and Mirror series. Not only, but I had Visionary 1 and 2. I had The Porch, I had The Womb, and The Crack Baby. Then I moved to New York, and that's when I put out the DMT trilogy. So if you listen to Cambatta in that time versus the Cambatta now, it's a completely different me. It's a different tone. It's darker. It's what some people would call demonic sounding. And it became a whole different entity. And that's because of what I put myself through psychologically and physically. Like I was in a tiny room, you know, I was just lost track of time. I stopped talking to friends and family. I just really like isolated my mind and got into the wisdom and the knowledge. And sometimes when you strip away life, you get to the real crux core of yourself. That creation just comes pouring out. And that's how I created Cambatta and the Tupac murder confessions and grand number theorem and Nikola Tesla pieces of artifacts that I would have never been able to create living a normal person's life. You know what I mean? It's like you need a certain level of isolation and loneliness and solitude to remove the layers. You know, one thing that I noticed working on this project with Lux is that I didn't have the time to remove layers. So really a lot of that was done on the fly. I didn't know what to anticipate, what not to anticipate. Even prior to me coming to New York, I was on the porch in Florida, and Florida's climate is just, you know, beautiful. Sun, water, you know, nature all over the place. You hear the cicadas and the crickets giving you that natural binaural function. You're hearing that all night. Like, and I used to ride on the porch, you know, for hours. So I had a certain level of peace, calm, and serenity that I couldn't get in New York. So I had to redevelop, you know, how I thought and how I wrote, and I have to redevelop again. So, and these are things that shake artists' life up. Like, you know, I'm looking, sometimes I feel lazy. I feel like I'm not doing anything. And I look at hip hop and I realize so many artists don't just I mean, when's it, like so many of your favorite artists, they're not dropping music every year. It's not an ultra consistent thing all the time. Life gets in the way. You have kids, there's family, you go through depressions. And me, a lot of times, if I'm having a really good time, I'm also not doing music, you know, since I dropped LSD and I changed my lifestyle. I went from starving to eating again. Clearly, like I went from enjoying life. I went back to enjoying my life and realizing what it was to be a surface level human and how beautiful it is to be in the realm of materialism sometimes and be able to enjoy food and be able to, you know, sleep in and not have so many, you know, thoughts just wearing me down. You know, I had to kind of realign. So I'm doing this project Manifest Destiny in the midst of my readjustment, and it's just been beautiful because it gives off the illusion that I'm just this like workhorse. But I promise, like all the work has been done. Like 2021, you guys are gonna see a lot of crazy stuff. You know, I'm just trying to. I'm not even thinking. You know how when you see racehorses, they have these blinders on the side of their heads that prevent them from seeing their peripheral. That way, they can literally just focus through the finish line. And that's kind of what it is for me. Like I don't have like nothing has the same effect on me. Maybe it's because of my history with traumatizing myself with psychedelics. Like I'm in a different state. I'm in a different place. Like let me see. Shout out everybody. Fab here, Christopher White, Paul Calbajo. I love Black Magic, but wish you had done an album Solar with Lux and You. Love the song though. Bought the LSD. We'll buy 2 more. Appreciate your honesty. Yeah, like there'll be much more. But yeah, when I link up with Black Magic, it's very special. It's a very specific and intentional energy when I'm dealing with Black Magic. It goes down with the alchemy. Every producer puts a certain level of energy behind their music, and me and Rich's connection. I mean, just his name is Rich Merritt. I mean, he brings it. Like most of my fan base I have to thank to doing with Brother Rich and his ability to expose me to people who understand my language. And this was just as much for me as it was for Loaded Lux an opportunity to do that, because he's somebody who's always, I mean, the vast amount of his fan base are hardcore lyrical battle rap street listeners. So sometimes he don't get to talk to the metaphysical minds, people like you guys that understand the psychedelic realms. He had to touch that, you know what I mean? And that's what this was. And I had to get that. I had to be able to absorb that energy from him because he's been in the battle ring. It's like I'm a philosophical martial artist. Like my pen and my sword is kind of like a Bruce Lee, to where there's no proof of me using it in nature. Like where Lux is he's a practitioner of the art in form of battle. So it's like, in order for me to be able to get that same level of energy without stepping into the ring and getting bloody, I have to be able to build those relationships with people that have done it, get spar with them, get energy from them. That way it's the same realm. Not that I would never take a battle. It would just have to be enough for me to really go back and rewire myself for something like that. But yeah, I appreciate you guys going to get Manifest Destiny. You're not gonna regret it. Alpha Omega was ultra fun. We literally freestyled that. Well, the first verse was freestyle. The second verse, we did that a little differently. I won't let the cat out the bag for that, unless Lux here, you know. But yeah, even just building with him, man, is just it's life changing, man. When you're around, you know, ALICs that are further along than you in a certain sense, it's a alley oop. You know, you gotta surround yourself with people that are doing what you're doing, but they've been doing it longer and they've gone further with it. And it don't even, it goes without saying. You don't even have to discuss. Not like I was in some kind of desperation mode to get information out of them about how to do it. It's just like sharing that space alone is enough. You know what I mean? So definitely. What's your favorite on the album? I'll go back to LSD first. LSD, my favorite tracks on there are Grand Number Theorem and Son of Horus. I also like Wings of Icarus too, which is my first time using more of like a melodic approach, which my musical taste is primarily based on that. Like I only listen to 70s music mostly, hip hop a little bit. Like I'll delve in, but I'll go into like I was listening to Busta Rhymes, Everything Remains Raw, or Busta Rhymes, Shining, or I'll listen to Boot Camp Click, Das Effects, because of what they're doing with their rhythm. Today I was listening to CeeLo and Lyricist Lounge. So Wings of Icarus is definitely a little preview of where I would like to take my music at some point, just kind of like an alter ego. I would love to write actual, songs, and I love neo soul. I love the rhythm. I love the beat structure. I love the freedom. I love the thoughtlessness. So that, and then my favorite song on the Manifest Destiny album will have to be Alpha Omega, and I guess Beautiful, because of Cyrock on there. And a quick story about that song on Beautiful, if you've heard that, that's again Manifest Destiny album with me, Cyrock, and Loaded Lux. That song was originally done in the studio by myself. Like it was me and Los actually, and I was in there. I didn't sleep. I went to the store. It was a rainy day, and we threw on that beat, and that beat wasn't even in the original rotation of beats that Rich. This is a beat that Rich sent me a little while ago when he sent me 24 Hours for LSD, which is also another one of my favorite songs on that album. And once I heard that beat in the studio, shout out to Nick Price, the engineer. He mentioned Snoop Dogg and Pharrell, Beautiful, and how they created that. And I was just like, I just had that word in my head. I literally freestyled that song. That's why my verse is so, I guess you could say it's less in depth than I normally write. Like it's more free flowing. It's more, on the tip of my tongue rather than, in the back of my mind. It has that bounce to it. And then of course Loaded Lux wrote to it after hearing that and came out with a crazy, exercise. And then Cyrock heard that culmination, and immediately, I mean, this is just last week, you know what I mean? We just got this back. So I mean, just amazing song. I love Beautiful. I love Alpha and Omega, the best, Also, Character is crazy too. If y'all haven't heard the album yet, y'all missing out. Spend extra money. $30 sounds like a lot of money, but it's like you guys get so much replay value. It's like buying a drug that you never get to stop smoking. Like it's like, you spend $30 on the eighth of bud, it's gone in an hour if you're me. But $30 on some music that took me a lifetime to write, essentially, and thousands of dollars to record. You guys get that, especially if you're artists. Like if you're a rapper, and like, just please listen to me, because I literally was exactly the same way. Like I would listen to people that had a certain level of intentional technique when it came to their technical skill level in rhyming, and that's the crux of it. I haven't got to listen to Eminem's new shit, but I'm sure it's a fucking rhyme fucking I'm sure it's bar heaven, So go get it. Somebody said, how far are you trying to take long rhyme schemes after COVID 24? That was probably the longest somebody has ever rhymed the same scheme. I'm not sure if it actually is the longest consecutive multiple rhyme pattern ever. It's definitely up there. But I will say that for something that has such a long rhyme scheme, it's a 10-minute, 24-second track. I kept together most of the threads. So from the beginning of the song to the end of the song, there's a couple threads that are going on that I don't lose track of. So I'm still giving you the
the multisyllabic sequencing, but I keep reminding you that I'm talking about the COVID virus. I bring in the masks, I bring in the gloves, I bring in the corona and what the corona means, being a crown, gold, king, Kobe. There's multiple threads, mostly coronavirus, gold, which is synonymous with the corona, which is synonymous with Kobe's, jersey color, the corona of the sun, the corona light beer is that same kind of goldish tint. It just keeps like, when I was writing this song, it gets really spooky, and it almost feels like I'm doing more than just doing hip hop. Like, hip hop is the result. But through the process of realizing what you stumble on when you're going through rhyme sequences and rhyme schemes, you're trying to make these relation points that you would otherwise, what would be the point of you doing this on earth? Unless you're a movie writer, a book writer, or a rapper, there's no reason for you to sit in a living room or sit in a bedroom all day and try to make as many connections as possible. Rhyming forces you to do that. And because of the limitations, the structure, the framing, it allows you to kind of focus in on one specific thought. And once you do that, your brain will literally just start to work for you and unfold everything. I'm lifting up all the rocks. I'm trying to make all the synchronicities work for me. And it was too many to write. Like, if I really wrote everything that I came across while really just critically thinking about coronavirus in this year as a whole and all the events, because that's what that was attempting to do. That's why that took so long for me to put it out. I was originally going to put that out in March, but so many things kept happening. It's like, wait, I got to wait a little bit. And then obviously we had the 824, and everything in the song was written intentionally. Like, I understood that at 824, I had to say Kobe, It's also 1024 because we got 2, which is Gianna Bryant's jersey number, 8, which is Kobe, and then 24. So, and because, okay, at first I wanted to make it 8 minutes, but that wasn't long enough. Then it was like, okay, I can make it 8 minutes and 24 seconds, but that wasn't long enough. So then it was like, what is the next best option? I can't go 24 minutes, so it was like 1024 makes the most sense, because then if I can factor in Gianna in there. And it's crazy because my sister's name is Gianni too. And so it's like, oh, what? And he called her Gigi, and that's literally my sister Gigi. And it's like, oh no, like fuck. But Corona, please. I mean, I meet people and everybody I meet, the first thing they say to me is, yo, man, I just wish you had better promotion. I wish you had more marketing and stuff like that. Like, oh man, why aren't you bigger? You should have more than 15,000 subscribers. I see it all. I hear it all. I agree. And most people think, and it essentially is in my power to make this change, but I'm not that person. You know what I mean? Like, I when I come to you, it's because I really want. It takes a lot for me to get in front of this camera and do these things, because in my life, like, I mostly just want to spend time in my mind. Like, my imagination is heaven. And I love to see the results. I love to see the feedback. But for me, it's about the creative process that I'm in true form. So I do need more. I wish that the world could hear, and I know it'll happen some way naturally through word of mouth. But COVID virus, COVID 24, everybody needs to hear that on earth. LSD, like, what the fuck, like, literally, like, to me, and this is not being narcissistic or cocky, if I stumbled on that shit and I wasn't me and I was just some 15-year-old kid and I stumbled on LSD, it would be life-changing because of the work. I know the work that I put into everything and crossing just the fundamentals of rap and what it would take. That's you listen to that album, you can basically download the crux of it. So please, I depend on you guys for marketing, to tell you the truth. Word of mouth is the realest, it's the best, it's the cheapest, it's the easiest. It's the only one I really I want to understand. The rest of it seems, I'm not the kind of person, I don't like the repetitious aspect of continuously telling you guys I'm coming out with shit, keep posting up the album cover. These things work. Scientifically, it works. I'm literally this close to being a multimillionaire and being super famous, but I'm not willing to sacrifice a level of my integrity as a human being. The greatest people, the greatest philosophers, they weren't, hey guys, hey, they weren't spinning signs on the corner, hey, come listen to me, come listen to me. No. This is privileged information. This is occultist. Like, this is blood, sweat, and tears. This is my life. Like, this shit can't be put on a branding sticker. This is like, as much as I wanna participate in hip hop and do the dance. Oh yeah, verses. Oh, hip hop. Oh, barbershop. I'm not into it. I don't like it. I don't like the people. I don't like the culture at all. I'm literally here because of my love for the music. Like, when you're tripping balls, DMT, you stripped away your reality, all of that shit. Just even going back in the swimming pool of hip hop and culture and media it's a lie. You're lying to yourself. You're wearing a mask. You know what I mean? So it's like, dude, like, I've been there. Trust me, I've been in the rooms. I've met all the people. I've been in the offices, and I feel like a fish out of water, but I don't want to block my abundance either. Like, I want to be able to provide for my family and build monuments and give out free information. But every time I think about that, every time I want to descend back to my cave, it's like, oh shit, I gotta pay some bills and I gotta figure out how I can continue to do this and not just be a fucking wreck. But shout out Christopher Weiss, Sway X, V Black Moonlight, Dogma Free, Recharge, Baze. I'm sorry. Always spread your word. Yo, thank you. How do I post this? Hide, add moderator. Cool. Thank you, Pao Cabajo. Thank you, bro. Let's see. Horseshoe Gang. Yeah, Horseshoe Gang's crazy. Lupe's crazy. There's so many crazy lyricists. Like that GOAT shit, like I play around with that word and greatness and stuff like that. There is no greatest. There is none. There's none. It's a fun goal, because upon that journey, like if you just say I want to be the greatest of all time, you're gonna do a lot of work on that path. You're gonna that's the best exercise. It's like putting the dangling steak in front of a dog, knowing he'll never catch it, but he's going to get really fast in that attempt. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many factors that go into it when it becomes, there's lyricism is different than rapping, which is different than rhyming, which is different than being a overall artist, which is different than execution, which is different than musical ear and production. You could be the greatest rapper of all time and be on corny beats. You could be the greatest of all time on great beats and be ugly with a terrible voice with no money to record. So many factors that go into it that I'm just glad that people even consider me and listen to me. And I feel like I'm the most normal person in the world. And when I leave my house, it's like I have to remind myself, like, oh shoot, like somebody comes up to me, they're like, yo, Cam, I'm like, what? It's like, bro, like, how the fuck do you even know who I am? Are you insane? You know what I mean? Like, have I considered doing a collab with Sadistic, Christoph Crane? Shout out Julio. He put me on Sadistic. Yes, I would love to do song with him. Baker. But who's your favorite rappers, or at least who influenced you the most? A typical few. I mean, Big L, Jay-Z, Biggie, DMX, Lupe Fiasco. Rapper. I love them all. Like, there's not one that I don't like, and I can't get something out of it. Like, I'm not involved in watching and listening to hip hop as I used to be, so I'm not fully aware of what's happening now at all, to be honest with you. But as far as history goes, like I like them all. I listen to as much as I can. I'm definitely not a hip hop encyclopedia. There's shit that I just started. I still haven't heard Raekwon's album, any of them, front to back. There's a lot of albums that I still need to listen to. I don't know if I've listened to a front to back Mobb Deep album yet, you know, just front to back yet, you know, to be honest. And these are embarrassing things, you know, but I started off as a surface level rap fan too. Ask me about soul music or neo soul music, and I'm there. Like, if a hip hop head to a hip hop head is what I am when it comes to soul and neo soul music. Like, to me, I'm not a fan of what I do because I've seen the wiring of it so much. It's like if you work at a really fancy restaurant and you're a chef and you work at the restaurant, eventually you're gonna get tired of eating the food. So even though you work at the best restaurant in the world, they're like, hey man, you must love working there. The food's so delicious. And you're like, yeah, I got used to it after the second week, you know. So oh, let's see here. I'm kind of slow, y'all. So please please forgive me if I don't get to everything. Let me see. I just lost my track. Please have patience for me. God damn it. Yo, shout out to Devo the Ambivert. Listen, bro, I've seen all your reaction videos. Devo the Ambivert. Thank you, bro. You get it? We right there, bro. I'll show support however I can. Please go subscribe to his page. Shout out to Bakery Music for putting them on. Yeah, man, these reaction videos are the future. If you know anybody doing reaction videos, please let them know about my music. Send them my music. Keep it up. If you know, you guys been doing a really great job of keeping me relevant, dude. Because like I said, man, I'm not gonna super remind you that I'm out. Like, I'm gonna put it out and that's it. You know what I mean? I'm Zorro, dude. Zoop, zoop, whop. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something, brother. Yeah, so let me see. Mama say, mama sa, mama akusa. Hold on. God damn. Oh, okay, here we go. Says, answer my questions. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I used to be sleep deprivation. Yeah, sleep deprivation. I just naturally, you can't fake that. You know what I mean? Like, the level of loopiness and strange, obscure, abstract thought. That's like, for instance, like, I don't know if you've ever had those late nights of if you've ever done LSD or shrooms, and you're just gone. Generally, yo, shout out to Aaron Mason. Wow, thank you for the I don't know how to show it, but he definitely showed some love just now. Thank you, Aaron Mason. Appreciate you. He sent a nice donation. He's trying to keep Bada's lights off. Lights on. You heard me. Yes. But what I was saying, sleep deprivation. Yeah, like a long night of shrooms and LSD, and the next day you still can't sleep, and you're up that next day. Like, the blabble and blobber and rambling that comes out of you is beyond classic. I've said some of the most insane. I've had some of the most insane freestyle sessions, fresh off of some, you know, next day 42 hours into a fucking shroom trip. You know, you can't fake that. Who would you be intimidated by in the booth? Intimidated by. It's interesting because it's all the I guess the anticipation or the anxiety of the unknowing to say, you know, it's kind of more of a personal thing. It's like, am I on point today? How in point am I? If I'm on point, if I got good rest, if I'm well prepared, there is no fear. There is no fear that when it comes into making music, because it's not like fighting. And I'm very confident in my abilities. But as far as like who will have me on my toes, like, oh my God, I better come with it because I don't want to get swamped out. I mean, I mean, I felt that when I was in the booth with Loaded Lux. Loaded Lux is his writing process does not happen in front of you. We'll go to the studio and I'm in there working. Generally, like for a lot of this album, I didn't write a lot of it down. I did the majority of this album, and we got eyewitnesses, you know, they know how I do it. I just at this point, I just go into the booth. I'll have a rhyme scheme in my head, like let's say it's hallelujah, you know, Bala Allah Judah. You know, I didn't say Kama Sutra. I was kind of mad that I didn't rhyme that. But generally, like in the booth, like I have enough immediate access to rhymes that I can be in the booth and, you know, give me 30 minutes in there and I'll come out with a verse. But Lux, he actually leaves the premises. He leaves you don't know. He goes into it's all mystery. He's like, oh, this the beat? Send it to me. And then that's the last you see him till he's ready. So yeah, like you feel that anxiety. Oh my God, what's this guy about to do? You know, so but everybody, Daylight's crazy, Jack Tripper's crazy, K Reno's crazy, every Cannabis, of course Cannabis, Kendrick, like literally everybody's there's so many high-level rappers these days. I'm not sleeping on nobody. I don't think that I'm any better or worse than anybody. Like it's that day. If that day is like anybody can be the greatest rapper that day. It depends on who's pulling them out the sky. You know, I'm well prepared, so I know that I have a lot of reference points. I have a pretty decent memory. So if you say a word to me, my mind allows me to make a lot of abstract connection. So I always have that. And I have enough vocal flexibility to where if I know if you're doing this over here really well, then I could do this. And I'm going to be able to at least say, okay, these two things are so uncomparable that we can't say anybody was better. And that's just using tactics, if it's that kind of song. And the only two songs on Manifest Destiny that were like that was Manifesto and Alpha Omega with me and Lux. The rest of them were kind of like, there's songs on there like Did It Before. He actually has longer verses. So this was actually me. Sometimes you gotta, just as an artist, sometimes you gotta let the other person shine. You can't be this egotistical asshole. Yo, I gotta make sure I got the same amount of bars. If he go crazy, I gotta go, oh, he said that, let me change my shit. Nah, bro, whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? I'm a scale the room, say, if y'all cool with what I did, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? If y'all want to hear me go crazy, just pull up fucking grand number theorem. Very few rappers on earth that could do that. Like, I don't have to do that again. It's been done. You know, COVID, you know. So yeah, Eminem is the greatest rhymer I've ever heard. Like when it just comes to, oh my God, that guy can put together some syllabics, bro. And I'm up there. Like I'm limitless with syllabics. Like depending on my mind, I could go forever. I could give you a whole day of it from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. There's no fear, essentially. That question came from J Nightmare 3. Katrina says, which psychedelics would you recommend for beginners? It's a thin line, man, because you can't really pity pat. My introduction, I mean, weed is the introduction, but it's nowhere near what mushrooms would be. Okay, DMT would be the psychedelic I would give to somebody. Like maybe not super powerful DMT, just enough to give you the point. Would be the best because you're up and down within a 30-minute span, sometimes a lot quicker. And then you could go back to your daily routine. Mushrooms, you got 6 hours. You got just that first 2 hours of mushrooms are just weird, awkward feelings, sometimes nausea, you know, anxiety, jitteriness. You're like, I like to tell everybody the first 2 hours of mushrooms, you might want to just lay down and chill and meditate. And then you get this wind in you, you know what I mean? Like yawning, you might feel, but then all of a sudden you get a surge of energy. And then at that point, like I say it's around that 2.5 hour mark, the real middle of it, 3 hour mark. And then that's when you got the superhuman abilities. That's when you go outside and the trees is giving you the trees are like, anybody that knows, like you see the trees actually moving. Like you don't see clouds until you see them on shrooms, baby. You know, you see the true, whatever you can see when you look at the sky, just sober eyes, like clearest night ever. Look at the sky. You see stars, you see moon. Look at that same sky on mushrooms. You will see another 10,000 light years into the sky. You're going to see, oh, shooting stars. What is it? That's not a shooting star. How does that sound? No, that's a fucking vessel. That's not a shooting star. If there were just shooting stars, the whole galaxy would be fucking in pieces, dude. You know, it doesn't make any. Oh, it's just space debris. Well, if it's in our visible, if we could see it, that means it's kind of close. Isn't that kind of scary? Like, they're like, what? Okay. Yeah. So, shout out. How do I feel if mainstream rappers become god hot rappers? How could you push the caliber? Shout out to R. Right L. Let me read that again. How do you feel if mainstream rappers were to become god hop rappers? Yeah, I mean, it's already, they've already tried it. So many people try to do it. I mean, if you're doing it right and it's from the heart, it's great. If you're doing it just because you see it as a trend, oh, you know, black people, they into the woke shit now. You know what I mean? Everybody, oh, you want to be on the woke conscious shit just because it's hot. Then it becomes just a fad and it'll be in and out and it kind of hurts it. But if you're consistent with it forever, it'll come back again. Like, to me, it's not, I don't make conscious music. I don't make positive music. I'm not righteously trying to preach and, prophesize. And I'm not any of that. I'm making these personal self-discoveries within myself and I'm recording it. And then after I record it, I press go. And then just keep it moving. And then, sometimes I'll do things like this to discuss it. I'm just basically just trying to keep myself going. I know that no matter how rich or how healthy you are, you're eventually going to, kick that bouquet. But yeah, Raja says, Patreon, got to do Patreon too. Cool. Mac the God, biggest inspiration. I think I already read that. Really, though, I got to give props to Erykah Badu and D'Angelo, though. Bilal. Like, that really, Erykah Badu changed the way I listen to music, for sure. Let's see. Crystal Day is on point. Cannabis influence, prefer to write with sativa or indica or blend. I used to be a sativa guy because I want to excite as much mental activity as possible. But now that I'm getting older, I'm more of an indica guy because my mind is so active. I need to slow it down in order to get to that right balance, because I can't write with a hyperactive mind. I'll start freestyling. If I'm too hyperactive, that's when I'll freestyle. And I'll just go in the booth and I'm like, all right, what's the first thing? All right, jazzercise. I'm back with the Jackson 5, I'm the Black Master Skies, Master Wide. That's like, if my mind is too much, I have to freestyle. I'm not going to sit there. By the time it takes me to write, I've already lost like 3 thoughts. So it's like, you got to play with it. It takes years to develop that. Anybody can get to that point. You just got to rap a lot. That's how Lil Wayne got to that point. Jay-Z got to that point. Eventually, like, those people, their lifestyles don't allow them time to write for 8 hours in their hotel room. They're just like, oh, shit, I got studio in the morning. They get in there, turn on the beat. What's the rhyme? What's the name of the beat? Golden Horse? Golden Horse. I know the source. My vocals hoarse. Yo, of course. Yo, keep that. No remorse. Just all, and then shout out to Nick Price. Then the engineers do their work and make us sound like fucking superstars, But yes. Follow the Phoenix, epic. One of the alien. Thank you, Devo. At the God, Christopher Wright, Rafe B, Yahweh Shai, thank you. Keaton Goldson, Grand Number Theorem, best song in hip hop. Thank you. I agree. It's definitely one of the best. If you haven't listened to Grand Number Theorem, sometimes I'm shocked that I'm just thankful that got to come through me. Like, I want Lupe to hear that. I want Jay to hear that. I want the guys to hear that now. You got a link, let them think. Check it out. Yeah. Keep asking me questions. I'm gonna get to them. I'm scrolling now.
I've been taking care of my uncle. Shout out to Aaliyah who had dementia 12 years, died on the 6th. Yo, bless yo, peace, rest in peace to your uncle, bro. Definitely, man. Like I got an uncle. I am my uncle John, Big John, you know what I mean? He influenced me in everything. So the way I talk, the way I express myself, the mannerisms all come from him. So peace to your uncle. During that time, I went into a deep writer's block. Now writing feels like relearning how writer's block. Writer's block is interesting because you have to accept it, and that's your time to absorb and take notes. Writer's block sometimes is a gift because when you're writing too much, you're letting everything out. It's like if you're just letting out your energy, if you're just working out, and you never drink any water or eat any sustenance, you're gonna be weak. So anytime you have writer's block, just take a deep breath and say, okay, this is my time to study. Put in some provocative documentaries. If you're a reader, get out your highlighter and take notes. List random thoughts you have. You know, take note of things. Just study. Just do your study and take notes of shit. And then when you don't have writer's block, and then what I'll do is take a break from drugs, because if you like, let's say you have writer's block, you just study, and then you don't smoke weed for like a week. When you finally do smoke weed and you finally listen to a beat, you're gonna be so inspired. You're gonna be like, oh, I gotta write something now. You know, now. Also, what helps writer's block is give yourself real deadlines, and hold your tell people so you're socially responsible. Like I used to just create deadlines. Like, yo, Visionary. Like I remember when I came out with Visionary 2, I put out the deadline before it was done. Actually, that was the secret to how this album Manifest Destiny. Before the album was done, we put out the release date. Why do you do that? Because then you have a real sense. People have already bought their albums. Like we have no choice but to finish this. And just that last minuteness allows your brain to make miracles happen. It's like doing homework on the night before. That's when your brain has the energy to do it because you know you have to. So that's what I have to say about that. But rest in peace to your uncle, bro. Speak more of the bars, less content, though. You have spotted less of the background, please. You gotta spit it. Okay. Shout out to James. Shout out to Sequoia Webb. St. Louis. Shout out Studio. Yes, Michael Richard. Yes. Me and brother Rich have the same internal names. Let me see. Ivan Salute. Who is that behind you? Best rapper alive, Neo. Wait, hold on. Give me a second, man. I'm just trying to catch up. If I skip your question, just re-ask it. I might just go to the bottom right now. Why are you making music, though? You want to say something? Muna War, Ali, Hansoon. Why am I making music? Do I want to say something? I make music because I love making music. Point blank. I'm not trying to tell nobody nothing. You know, I do. I guess there is the gratification of people reacting to my music and getting feedback and people loving it. But you get used to that. There has to be love a little bit deeper than just people liking it. Because if you're just always looking for a crowd, you're not even gonna get far enough to get a crowd, because it all starts off with no attention. Everybody's like, oh, just another rapper. So it's got to come from a place of love. And I make music strictly because I love the feeling of stumbling upon a bar. Like I get to say a real crazy rhyme combination, or I stumble on some kind of pun or something, like just out of nowhere. It's the best feeling in the world. It's like stumbling on gold. And I think that is why I don't have a head full of gray hairs, why I still feel like I did when I was 15. Like I'm never truly unhealthy. Like even if I put on some pounds or I'm losing eating, like the effect of my imagination intact that keeps me like almost like, you know how God says, you know, I say God protects the foolish and the babies. You know,
that foolishness is what that is. Like, you got to trick yourself into being in not a state of innocence when it comes to your interactions with the world, but with yourself. I don't pay attention to time, dates, politics. None of that shit matters to me. Like, I honestly, like, sometimes I'll entertain it for the sake of discussion, but I'm really just here as a human being selfishly to enjoy my time and say funny and just think about weird shit. You know what I mean? Like, just discover the point of being alive. Like, use my eyes and ears to pick up as much as possible. Like, oh my God, this is like, why our house is shaped like this? Like, you drive down the street, you see all these cars scooting along, and it's hilarious. Let me see. The MF Doom homage you spat is crazy. Quick thing about MF Doom, like, yo, shout out to my boy Dollar from Queens. He actually I was on shout out to Eddie Deuce. We put together a LSD tour before the album even came out in the summer of 2017. And I had a producer and artist by the name of Dollar. He was on tour with me. And he kept saying, yo, you remind me of MF Doom. You remind me of MF Doom. And up to that point, I've heard MF Doom. But at the time, like, I was kind of turned off. Like, I'd listen to the raps, and maybe because of the mixing, it had a level of elementary crudeness to it. So you have to get beyond that. And then, like, the samples and the flow patterns he uses are so atypical. The references are all over the place. He had the comic book. So you have to go in with a certain level of ear and expectation. So I didn't know. I heard somebody say he was lyrical before. So I went in like, oh, is he about? Oh, let me listen to him. Oh, that's what he sounds like. So, of course, not that I'm not like that. Trust me. Like, that was a really bad impression of myself. But I didn't get it at first until I was on tour and I was on those long ass roads. And I listened to him and I get it now. I get it. It's like pure freedom. He exemplifies a hip hop artist. He doesn't follow any of the rules. You don't talk to him about marketing, what a deal, your music videos, shows. He's completely out of the box, and I respect that. I think he has the best hip hop career ever. If you really think about it, he's protected himself from the demons. Fame is just tiring and exhausting, and it's an energy sponge, and he's kept himself in his own place, in his own happy place, man. It's very smart. You'll as you get older, you realize how valuable that is. I used to look at old people like, God damn, like, as I'm running around, being a mischievous kid, you see the old people and you ask yourself, how do they have fun? You'll see an 80-year-old guy just on his porch on his rocking chair like this. And it's like, at that point, you understand how fleeting life is and how every moment is unique and you'll never see it again. So you could literally just sit on a porch for 8 hours and just look at the sky or just notice the flight of birds. And it's boring as that shit sounds, like it's basically profound. Once you really think about it, like, oh shit, like nothing's holding the sun up. It's just always there and it's on this routine. And then you see the birds and their ability to do just their active principle. Like, they exemplify the principle of their being to a point of no mistakes. It's like their death was just because that's what happened. It's like there's no thought. It's just pure function. And now that I'm older, like, I see that in having a lifestyle like MF Doom would be the best. Imagine being a millionaire rapper, or at least a wealthy rapper, or a rapper that could feed yourself in abundance, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to be at the award shows. You don't have to do interviews. You don't have to do music videos. All you have to do is exactly what you love, because all of those other things include everything else. I'm in this because I like to rap and write. I'm in this because I like to write and rap, not because I like to do any other aspect of it. Everything is different. Everything. This right here is a different skill set. Talking, being able to hold people's attention. Interviewing is a different skill set. music video cadence is a different skill set. So the greatest artist can do many different things. You have to be a multiply talented person to actually be a famous rapper these days. And MF Doom exemplifies not having to do none of that shit. Again, I want to remind you guys, I got the autographed Solars just came in, the vinyls. If you want those, I have my Cash App pinned. You can hit my Cash App with any donations, anything like that. The vinyls are $44. The CDs autograph are $22, and you can get both for $66. And I'll do if you want to do the vinyl and if you want to do both vinyls, I could put together a package for that. If you want to do both vinyls, I could do it for $66 for the vinyls and for the loner and the solar together package, autographed directly from me. I'll breathe on it. I won't put any COVID on it. You know, that's all we're gonna do. But yes, also manifestdestinymusic.com. Shout out to everybody that got it so far. I mean, like you guys are keeping this shit alive. If it wasn't for this shit, like artists like me would be fucking just, you know, and I'm so far from rich, bro. I'm doing this because I love it. Because I love it. I'm the most honest rapper ever, bro. I'll tell y'all the fucking deal. Yeah, yo, appreciate the love. Love to you and the homie Mickey Fax to do a joint. Me and Mickey Fax did do a joint back in the days. I don't even know if it came out. But yeah, I know Mickey Fax, not know him. Like I've been around him many times. We've crossed. Shout out to Eddie Deuce, did some business with him. And he hit me up on Twitter not too long ago to congratulate me for the album. So shout out to Mickey Fax. 2021, I definitely want to do more features with those top tier lyricists that we're talking about. Mickey Fax is a fucking alien, one of the greatest lyricists. There's like 100 of them out there that are all level 5, you know. I definitely want to shout out to Omari Yunus. I definitely want to go to South Africa someday. I don't know what's going to happen with this vaccine shit, though, man. Because I don't have a passport right now. They might require me to take a vaccine and go out of state and travel. Like, fuck. Yo, Big Boom 2020. Thank you, yo. I recognize you, bro. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for the support. I see all your comments. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. The wordplay crazy. Thank you. Love playing with words. Let's see. Tech Nine. Tech Nine is one of the greatest rappers of all time. And again, he has his own lane. Like his musical, the design of his music is so unique. It's not something that's, I would say, genuinely in my palette of listening, but his skill set overall is top tier. He does more things good than anybody, maybe. I mean, his speed, his patterns, the rhymes, the execution, the way he handles himself, his performance ability is crazy. Tech Nine, I mean, another legend. If somebody said he was the greatest of all time, I wouldn't be able to really argue with you, because if that's your style of sound, you're gonna like the rapper the most that makes the style of music you like. Like with Eminem, my problem with him is after his first 2 albums, the sound kind of changes of the music. And I was more into him on the slower beats than when he rapped fast. Like fast rapping to me is always a feat. Like it's dope to hear somebody rapping really fast, but to me it doesn't hit as much. Like I don't get to, the rhymes are more passive. It's more of the sound of you doing something rather than what you're doing. And sometimes that doesn't work with me as well. I love Bone Thugs though, because of the layers. I didn't even need to know what they were saying. That's how good their voices sounded. Could you break down in grand number theorem? Shout out to Wesley Sniper. He said, could you break down in grand number theorem when I said 2 people will go to hell? That's because if you had middle school calculators and you write that number sequence on it, 7, 7, 3, 4, 0602 or 5, I forgot what it was, and you flip over your calculator, it says go to hell on it. So with an alphanumeric, basic digital function calculator, you could spell certain words based on the shape of the numbers because it's all used in the 8. If you look at any like old school number display, you can see the 8s in there. It's usually 4 8s, and within that you can make a O, a L, a E, a H, and back when you flip it over, you could also make completely different words. So that was kind of a reference to people who remember doing that on this calculators. You could write "go to hell" and flip it over, and it just so happens that it's like, yo, that's like 10% of the population. That's like 5% of the population. That might be right. It's like there's weird synchronicities in the universe, and just so happens that what if that amount of the people that would, if there was some kind of spiritual purgatory, which obviously the whole allegorical aspect of heaven and hell, I mean, it kind of is what's happening here, because I mean, the proof is in you. Like, for you to have any sensibility, for you to be able to describe hell as being hot or heaven to be this utopian place, means that you have senses. It means that you can see and you can hear and you can taste and you can feel heat. So obviously, if that would mean that the afterlife still plays by the same laws of physics that this life does. If you can feel heaven or you can feel hell, that means that it's basically just another 3-dimensional realm. That's the problem with that philosophically is if you can feel what it's like to experience heaven, then you need some kind of body, whether it be an astral body, a spirit body, or a physical body that has some aspects of being able to translate what it feels like to be burning in hell, which means basically that's what you feel here. That's not, if there would be nothing special about this realm if it didn't have pain and sorrow and horror to balance off all the beauty of it. It's like there has to be some kind of rigidity in order to smooth the stone. It has to have something, some kind of tension or aggravation in order to even have any movement, or we would just be still and we wouldn't have to develop anything unless there was some kind of struggle here. We would just be basically in complete bliss, just sitting here. And I believe that's what the afterlife is. The afterlife is like the state of eternal bliss. Once you're re-emerged back into the source, everything that we just find as pleasure here is a little bit of death. It's like that orgasm is kind of like a small, like your body has to exhaust all of its vitality to seed a new life, which means at that very point you have to go through like a little death. And I think that's what a closer is. It's like this may be what hell is. If you really think about it, hell, heel, your heel is at the bottom, head, heaven, HEA, head, the top. And then the whole concept of floating up comes from, that's physics too. We're talking about vapor. We're talking about smoke. Come on, man. God damn. So that's what we're talking about. Yeah. Shout out to everybody. Everybody shout me out. The Prophet, Rafe B, who's mentioning Manifesto. Why is no one mentioning Manifesto? Not enough people got it yet. There's a handful of people on Earth that has Cambatta and Loaded Lux right now. And the thing about it is, Loaded Lux doesn't have that many albums out. He doesn't have much music. Like, people don't know him for his music, and he's a beast. And we made this album on the fly. A lot of it is like, I'm conditioned to being in the studio. So for him to be able to, I guess, readjust and get into this realm in the middle of everything else that's going on in his life was was epic. So that's why we've made this so exclusive. We've made it so expensive. We made it so unobtainable. You know, that's the only way people will appreciate it at any time. Like, it's kind of like when they released the PlayStation 5s or the new Jordans. Like, there has to be limited stock. There has to be some kind of loop in order. That's where the value comes from, the rarity. What is the likeliness that this rapper that raps over here that not that many people know about gets to rap with one of the greatest battle rappers of all time and do a music album? You know, it might not, it doesn't happen ever usually. And it's like, you know, a blessing. You wake up to these blessings, man. You know what it is? Again, it's visualization and imagination, and then not questioning it. You just let it happen. You just let it work. Like, you know, just the fact that we're still alive right now is like, how is it that you're alive at the most modern time in the history of mankind? Like right now, this moment is the newest time that we know of. Of course, if we look at time in a linear sense, if it's cyclical, then it's happened before. But you know, if you're watching this, you're not dead right now. That's pretty cool, you know.
I want to clear my all right says I want to clear my chakras so I can go inside with some DMT. I ain't ready for no LSD.
There's no clearing, there's no meditation, there's nothing that's going to prepare you for that. The best thing you could do is prepare your setting and your body to be as like you said, clear. But I would just say as light and as weightless as possible, as far as just have a nice day. When you're tripping, if you're a first-time tripper, daytime tripping is easier than nighttime tripping. You know, a lot of my first trips were during the night, and that is a different experience. The energy on Earth, the entities, because all that stuff is verifiably real. Once you go there, you're just like, what? Oh, it's so obvious. Yes, of course, there's things going on that you can't see. Duh. You know, internet, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. Let's go down the list, including our spirit. Like, we're wireless, bro. Think about the human body. Imagine, look at his phone, right? In order for us to recharge his phone, to plug it into a wall, right, to get electric, all you have to do is lay down in a bed for 8 hours, and you wake up revitalized. And we do this while we don't have to plug it. There's no specific. We just make sure we got to eat water and some kind of food, because food is different all over the world. Like, as much as we're at a very crazy state right now to where we can eat all these exotic foods and have these insanely great diets. Because before, if you were born in Alaska, you got elk, you got some pine trees. What are you going to eat? You know, you're going to eat some fish and some elk. You got to be able to live a full life off of just these things. You know what I mean? So it's like, really, in order to excite the best psychedelic experience, I would do it on an empty stomach during the day. On a day where you have everything cleared out. It's a beautiful, pretty day. You have nothing on your schedule that day. Clear your schedule, put away your cell phone, and make sure that you're comfortable. Make sure that you have some anchors, something like, I usually write some shit in my pocket, like, of course, my address, and then I'll have some mantras or some, you know, just things that I write down that, you know, kind of can remind me who I am, and you know, maybe just some, like I said, mantras, things that I can repeat that I want to manifest, things that I can keep with myself, so I can go in my pocket and grab that and say, okay, you know, because when I go into psychedelic, I don't pussyfoot it. If you're trying to avoid having a crazy trip, then don't do it, because that's the point. The point is to pull yourself out of the fishbowl, in a sense, like. And it's always going to feel like it's violent, because you're switching the way you see reality, and it will never be the same again. But the beauty comes out of the discovery. It doesn't come out of, you know, like, I guess you expect for it to endow you with some kind of knowledge, you know, the unknown, and it does. It really does. However, like, you still have to come back and function as a normal human being. And that's where sometimes you can get a little depressed. So I would say, just understand what you're doing, and understand that this is it's a ritual, it's a spiritual practice. It's not something to do recreationally, because it will shift your. I mean, I stopped watching basketball. I never saw anything the same after I did psychedelic. Nothing was the same. Television, anything. I became a completely different human being. You know, I don't even remember who I was or how my mind worked prior to that. I've always been, you know, in a sense, loony. Like, just my mind worked in a real peculiar fashion, but it got really enhanced, and it just got crazy once I started doing psychedelics. But it happened internally. Like, when I was a kid, it was more about my excitedness and being able to tell people. But once I started really figuring out what it was to be alive and on earth and in this body, like, I realized this isn't supposed to be secret information. Like, all humans are endowed with the knowing of why and how you're here, and, you know, what you're doing, what the trees are, you know, like some of that wind you feel, that comes from the trees. I've seen it. They're able to actually move and create. They're actually able to communicate, you know, and oh man, I go outside and I always tell nature how beautiful it is. It's a mother. It's Mother Nature, right? It is this female. It's this absorbing. It is this giving, the all giving, but it's also the all receiving, you know? So it receives all of it, but it also gives all of it. And you have to basically that's what they're talking about, respecting Earth is, you know, acknowledge it, you know, imagine all the trees that were never seen, you know?
Keep being you, bro. Thank you, yo. Tanner, Gabriel, thank you. Dogma Free. My thoughts on Daylight. Daylight is one of the most ingenious artists overall ever. Like, he's tapped in. He's tapped in. He's another one that knows. And what's so impressive about him is that he's doing it in the daylight, in broad day. He's doing it right in front of everyone. You know, I'm very me and him go to a lot of the same spaces mentally. But for me, it's more of a personal practice, day to day. You know what I mean? And his ability to keep showing you guys and keep it going is just, you know, honor to him, man. He's firing on all cylinders. And his battle rapping is, you know, from the beginning, he's always been one of my favorites. His wordplay, his dynamics, his style. He has a particular style that allows him to break a lot of rules. So he can jump around. He kind of has like this Rain Man mathematics going on, you know what I mean? Where I'm more, I would say, more comprehensive. I'm more comprehensive, and I guess there's more clarity in the message, to where you have to be a high level, pattern decryptor or decipher to really get the crux of what he's doing with his bars. But he's alien. I love Daylight. And me and him, we've talked. Definitely, we're supposed to be working on something soon. I haven't hit him up in a minute, but I'm gonna hit him up soon. Shout out to the studio. There's a channel called YT called Compa versus Clips. There's a clip on the track called Shallow Waters. Does that exist? Yeah, shout out to Kai. Shout out to the artist Kai from the West Coast. I got a song with him called Shallow Waters. He's fired. Yeah. Justin Jones, peace. Patah, peace. Let me see where we at. Tenet got inspired. What inspired Grand Number Theorem? Yo, shout out to Grips. He just dropped his new album. And I've been meaning to hit Grip. Listen. Hold on. Hold on real quick. Where is it? Here it is, right here. Rosaries on the Grip. Right there. Shout out my boy Grips, yo. This guy, whew, excuse me for not mentioning you earlier, bro. This guy is ridiculous. You a Cambatta fan, go listen to Grips right now. GRIPZ. Yes, right now. Fire. Me and him gonna work on something real soon. He's actually he got Deep Polo on his album. He's actually the producer that produced Michael Jackson. He's worked with a lot of people I've rocked with. It's just a matter of time before we bless something. So that's gonna happen, man. I haven't been in contact with everybody I'm supposed to be in contact with because I've been finishing up this album. But top of the year, I'm gonna close up all the features. Everything I got out there that I gotta do. I got a song out there I'm trying to do with K Reno. I was supposed to been do something with Beast 1333. Grips. Shout out to Taboo. He got a project coming out. Cole. Shout out to Master Sin. Shout out to Domingo Padilla. Me and him got an album. There's everything's gonna happen. Shout out to Soul Messiah. His album's about to come out. I got a single on there with Rock. Yeah. We got some work to happen. Man, I smoke like this is an oxygen straw. You know what I mean? Like, I like weed. If your oxygen don't got weed in it, it's not breathable. Shout out to Lee's Ways, Corey Mercer, Nino, man. Listen, the people that go back, shout out to Nino Bless, man. I was that's somebody who was one of my first collaborators getting into the business. And he's an absolute lyrical mastermind. Shout out to Nino Bless. It's inevitable that everything's gonna circle around. So I'm gonna just put that out there. But me and him, we haven't worked in a while, but it's bound to happen, man. People that know me know that I move in and out of reality. You know me. I'm your boy. I'm your best friend. I'm your family. But at the same time, like, you understand I understand my purpose, and I have to go. I can't always be here sometimes. And that's to everybody, you know what I mean? In order to do what I'm doing, in order for these artists to go where they're going, they gotta get there somehow. And that happens in isolation and solitude. And time goes by so fast. You'll be working on 2 albums, 3 years will go by. You know what I mean? You forgot to hit up everybody. So for those artists out there, man, just always understand that you don't gotta regret it. Like, it's essentially, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. At all times, because they always say it's a sacrifice. It's a in all the movies they show it, like the guy who has the ambition for music, they're missing all the holidays. All their friends at home are saying, yo, you changed on us. You're all the people you used to rock with, you had to go solo in order to manifest your destiny. And that is the plight. You're not the only one. I'm not the only one. This is what happens. When they say it's a sacrifice, when they say when you go into it, when the music business is the devil's playground, they're really talking about that. It is that. In order for you to do this in fullness and be, you're giving yourself to the people. You're now at your life is being constantly monitored. Your artwork is being constantly critiqued. You're basically putting yourself in a position to have to do supernatural things. It's not natural that you have to, especially in these times where, in these digital age, where people, you got to do 4 projects a year now. That's the expectation. It's unbelievable. And you got to do music videos, and you got to do it for years and years and years and years to even develop a fan base. My first project came out 11 years ago. More than 11 years ago. And I'm still not even close to the top of the mountain yet. Like, I'm still basically at the bottom. And I don't want to phrase it at the bottom, but I could still see the ground. Let's put it that way. Like, and honestly, that's what gives me life. Quick. Like, shout out to like Little Bow Wow and Soulja Boy, but these are people who are millionaire artists by the time they were teenagers. Once they get in their mid-20s, what else are they going to do? It's like all the options God gave them, they've already superseded.
Where me, I haven't gone into the pantry yet and taken everything. I haven't even asked, to be honest with you. I'm not asking for nothing. I just literally wake up sometimes and shit happens. But I will say that it is like you got to invest a lot of time into music. And in order to invest a lot of time, you're losing time over here and over here. But that's the sacrifice. You got to know in your heart that it's worth it. If it's not worth it, you know, look the other way, because there's people that can do this with multiple kids, multiple jobs. You could do this. You could still have a great rap career if you're consistent, you know, but you got to be resilient and you got to be relentless. You can't kick, because everybody starts at 0 views. Everybody starts. I mean, I remember I drop a video and a year later it's at 3,000 views, and I would still be happy. I'd be like, damn, my shit at 3,000. Because at that time, you know, your air likes might be at 200, you know what I mean? But you're still looking at 3,000 views, like, wow, 3,000 times somebody saw this. And that's a lot. You know what I mean? If you had 3,000 of anything, 3,000 grains of rice, that could make a bowl. But now, even if I do that in a day, I have other people over here to compare that to that do that in a minute, you know? So it's like, you can live in the hood and be making $50,000 a year and feel rich until you go to a middle-class neighborhood where people are making $100,000 a year. Now you feel poor. So it's all relative.
Let me see, man. I'm gonna try to go back and answer some more questions. That's that Abraham Hicks. Yeah, I'm familiar. But thank you, yo. Orlando Edwards, Senka, John Smith. Let me see. Want to talk metaphysics? Smoke a blunt with yes. Fuck it, yeah. Everything. Again, yo. Cash App up here if you want to donate. Make sure I stay alive. Learn to do more bars and say more wild shit. It's pin $CAMERON Carbone. Thank you so much. Like I said, we got the vinyls on sale. ManifestDestinyMusic.com. Go grab that album for Christmas. Today's actually my pop's birthday. So today, if it wasn't for today, I wouldn't be here. So smoke to that. He's in the astral realm right now. Let's see, old school pager words. Yeah, Twisted Insane. Yeah, I'm gonna just go to the bottom, bro. I'm gonna just go to the bottom. If ask me a question, if you didn't ask it already, I'll get to it when I get at the bottom. Yeah. Let's see, man. Buy records right now, chip record player, blah. Yeah, that's the thing about vinyl. Like when you buy vinyl, let me show you what this thing look like too, man. See, vinyl. To all you artists, this shit crazy. Shout out to Mellow Music. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Mellow Music. LSD. I consider this my first album. Like this is definitely a life-changing experience, this album right here. Just even creating it. Shout out to everybody that helped me make it, all the producers. But the benefit of vinyl is that it's these little grooves, the music is in these grooves, these micro grooves. So even if all the electricity goes and you have an old school vinyl player, you can essentially still play this music. You know what I mean? Like it's like all you need is a small enough needle and something to amplify the sound, and you got some fucking music. Invest in these because it's like this old school technology worked, you know? You could get a wind-up joint. It could be post-apocalyptic Max Desert. You could get the wind-up record player and still be able to play LSD. You know what I mean? Show that shit to the aliens. They'll be like, oh, yeah, we need to give you a ride. You know what I mean? Am I familiar with Opium Black? Definitely heard of Opium Black. Haven't heard much of his music, but I'm going to definitely get into it. Send me some links. Yo, yeah, ASAP Rock, Crazy, Blue, Homeboy, Sandman, Flea Lord. I gotta listen to him. Decca, I heard a little Decca. He's crazy. I haven't heard Eli. Micah 9, gotta listen to him. Flea Lord must be good because I've heard him. Um, I've heard him. I've just seen his name around a lot, so he must be nice. 38 Special, crazy. I know 38 Special. Shout out to E-Base Music, man. I went over to his crib actually, and 38 Special is crazy, man. Crazy. Shout out to him. Shout out to Wu Ah Moon. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Favorite Lupe Fiasco song could have been. I could have been, you know, hustling, struggling bad, hustling bad. I could have been, what he say, rowing the boat, sewing the coat, someone to know, hustling drove. I mean, could have been Lupe Fiasco. Yeah, that just might be okay. The freestyle he did to the Failure beat, where he's like, "Did you even catch the changing things?" And he was like, "Stick to the street." He was like, "In my keys," he was like, "I stick to the streets, keep my dogs." He was like, "See what I'm saying?" He was like, "And I push keys wonderfully." Lupe, let me give you a little history. Hovey Baby by Jay-Z. That song, Joel Santana, Why? I think it was called Why. I'm trying to figure out why I do crimes I do with a mind's IQ of an Einstein too. And then all of Lupe is how is like those were those eureka moments that developed my style, I think, because if you listen to Hovey Baby, the wordage sounds so it's like biblical hyperbole. You know, I'm standing on a giant shoulder, can see much further than a giant. And he's like, you know, did the impossible, then did it twice, get it right. And he's like, I'm so far ahead of the past, you know, gotta look behind you. I'm about to pass you twice. Gotta slow for the present and past. Niggas can't get past my past. That right there, that level of metaphysical visual is what attracted me to keep going in rap. And then Lupe does that. It's like he was talking in all entendre. It was like everything he says is an entendre. He's never straight to the point. And sometimes it'll leave you lost. Like I think my shit is less complicated. Like Lupe, when it comes to that, sometimes like his references are are beyond. Like you got to have a real depth, literal, like literary kind of mind to pick up on what he's doing. Sometimes, Hobson, crazy clean style. His mathematics are he's very succinct as a writer. It's so clear, you understand everything he's saying. I love definitely one of the best. Fusion Blackrock, definitely gonna work with Fusion Blackrock. Shout out to her, South Africa. Like, she actually connected with me, and I'm definitely gonna hit her back. So if you know her, reach out, let her know. Cambatta is definitely gonna make that happen. Why physical? Yeah, we're gonna have digitals too, but physical, we gotta give you something we gotta give you some kind of product. Like, it's the only thing that truly has value. Like the digital shit is too easy. Once it's out there, it's gone. You know what I mean? You don't get another chance. Yeah. Like go for me for visuals. Yeah, I'm gonna do more visuals. How much weight has I added since lockdown? Probably, I would say a cool 25 pounds, dude. Since I would say I started really just getting into enjoying life again and eating and having fun, and shortly after LSD. Like, so it's been quarantine, you know, quarantine like 25 pounds. I lose it though. Like my shit go up and down. Like I look like a different person every time I'm on a fucking screen. I have the most I'm like lava slime, dude, like lava lamp slime, like all amorphous, like mercurial face boy. Look like a different person every day, dude. You know, so I don't fucking know. Yeah, my weight fucking goes up day by day. If I do shrooms, as soon as it hits, I'm
I'm like solid muscle. I lose like 20 pounds. Like shrooms puts me in my fucking perfect physique state. Like I could run 30 miles, like, you know, and then the next day I'm back to normal somehow. It's mad. It's like, it's almost mental, you know, but I don't care. Like I enjoy my life. Like I'm not, listen, the healthiest nigga in the world will get buried right next to the most not. You know what I mean? And health don't affect me. Like my mind is stronger than all of that shit. Like I heal everything mentally. I haven't been to the doctors in 20 years. I don't go to those places. I don't believe in anything. Like all of that's heavy mass collective belief. Like this is a shared dream state. So in your mind, there's no limits. When you're in your personal dream world, you create the laws. So you can fly, you can justify doing anything. In this realm, this reality is a shared dreamscape. So the rules are set by the majority collective thought. So if the majority of the people think that humans can't fly, you can't fly. There's no law out there. But if we were in a world where there was only 100 people on Earth and all of them believe we could fly, there would be no prevailing thought that would prevent us from doing such, and we would be able to fly. And it would just be like, oh, human beings are capable of breathing in nitrogen, and once their body holds it in the lungs, it creates a fusion with the magnetism of the core of the Earth, and humans are able to levitate. Every human knows this. It's obvious science. It's just easy. Everyone knows this. And then humans would go on in time, and that's just what it would be. But it's not like that. But that's where the 100 monkey theory comes in, because once something becomes a stronger thought, that becomes the rule. It's like once Dr. J jumped from the free throw line, everybody could do it. You know, once J.R. Ryder and Kobe did the between the legs, 10 years later, fucking 5'4" guys are doing it in the fucking in games now. Everybody has a 50-inch vertical now. It's because, like the threshold overall has been lifted. It's like, oh, we can do that? Oh, damn, here we go. Cool. And then kids are born only knowing that we can do that. So then it becomes easy. But yeah, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to be pretty. I'm not a pretty boy. I'm not trying. I don't use rap to get girls. I don't give a fuck about fashion. This is mine. This is my brand. This was given to me. Shout out to Ancient Aura. My shoes, everything. I'm not a typical rapper. I walk in the studios and other rappers see me and they're like, oh, what's up? Are you a rapper? Like, if they don't know me, they don't know, because I'm not gaudy. Like, I basically dress at like a hip-hop bum. I don't see my clothes when they're on me. You do. I'm not doing this for you. You know what I mean? Like, okay, like, yeah, you see this. I understand it. I wouldn't be wearing, but this is cool. Like, I understand adorning yourself and making your vessel look pretty and caring about yourself. Fashion is fire. It's an art. But for me and my life, like, if there weren't any humans here, I wouldn't give a fuck. I would be dressing in potato sack clothes like Tom Sawyer. You know what I mean? I would be dressing like clothing would have its function. Like, shoes are to protect and warm me, allow me to like traverse the plains easier without damaging my feet. Pants, protect me from fucking snakes, and it warms me up, and coats would warm me up. And I'd just be like, yo, function. Let me find cool shit to do on Earth while I'm here. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, if like, so yeah, like when it comes down to that, like, yeah, I'm self-conscious just like any other human. That's why I don't do anything like that. Like, it is weird. Doing music videos is weird. Posing for pictures is weird. It's not natural. Like, yo, being on the stage, like, shit, yo, this is me. It's never real. It's like you're creating a hyperbolic, unreal situation. There would be no time in real life where I would be in front of you. Yo, let me tell you how I live, son. Nah, bro. Like, I know all of this shit is weird. Hats are super weird. Look at it. It's some kind of basically some kind of strange teapot. We don't even use it for the function. Like, this is created to shade our heads. I wear it because I get haircuts once every 3 months. But what is this? And this is fashion. We just accept it. Oh yeah, just put that weird shape on your head. It doesn't even have enough of a build to actually do its function. Like this brim would have to be much bigger, like a fucking cowboy. But they're wearing it for fashion. I'm wearing it because it covers up my do, and it makes me look a little bit more like a rapper. Like, oh, okay, oh yeah, he's hip. Like, come on. And then a shaving, like, I don't like facial hair. It's annoying. You know, it has to be at the proper level of lubrication to not itch and fucking get on your nerve. And then I'm constantly fucking around with it. And it doesn't grow in full with me. I have alopecia spots all over the place, bro. So it's like I just don't care. I just don't like, oh yeah. Animals are just beautiful. That's it. Lions, birds, humans were beautiful. You know what I mean? Just believe it. Don't fucking stress that shit, bro. Like, you know, I don't give a fuck. Do I like hats? I like hats because they cover up my hairdo. I just said that. Like, I think they're weird though. I think they're weird. Like, they are weird. They're super weird. I wish there was another way, but there's not. Like, there's do-rags. There's like I could put a fucking towel on my head. I don't know what else I would do to cover, because it is kind of weird to have a muffin on top. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. Like, I don't got no grays, no but yeah, we could get off that. Enough about me. Back to these bars. You know what I mean? Yeah, turban. That's what I need, bro. What about the beard? I answered that without even knowing. Yeah, the beard. You got to make this weird design. It's just like, okay, it naturally kind of grows in like this anyway, right? So it's like, for some reason, God made our faces. Like, I could justify these eyebrows, right? Because when you're sweating, that once that sweat gets here, that this hair can kind of confuse that water and kind of guide it away from your eyeballs. And the same thing with eyelashes, like that can catch the dust and shit, right? But then the fucking facial hair, God did that for aesthetic. It doesn't warm your face. So, like, for whatever reason, whatever creators, I use God as just a general term, gave us this. So I guess I'm trying to give you some kind of symmetric neaten up. I'm trying to neaten it up symmetrically a little bit, you know? That's it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? $1 shirt, $2 shorts. Yeah, if you can find it, bro, fuck it. Anything can be fucking fashion, bro. I remember literally back in elementary and middle school, like, brand names were so important. It had to be Sean John. It had to be actually Fat Farm. It had to be Aniche, Pele, like, and they would check your tag. And if your shirt said FUBU on it, but on the tag it said Hanes, oh God. That's it. Though everybody in the school now knows you wear fake shit. And if you go to school and your edge up is fucked up, that's it. End of your life. End of your life, bro. But now you can wear anything. Like, especially if you're in shape, if you're in good shape, you just wear a fucking t-shirt and some fucking sweatpants and some $40 Vans and you have fashion, you know. Just wear a hat with some fancy shit on it, like this, and some fucking dangulation, dude. You know, put them dog tags on, boy. What we smoking on? I got some Dosey Do. Then I got some Kimbo Kush. Shout out to Kimbo Slice, man. Listen, MMA, I'm into it. I love it. Let's talk. We could talk about that all night, dude. It's the only thing I watch. I don't watch anything else but boxing and MMA. It's the truest sports. Everything else is assumptive and metaphorical. You know, basketball, 7-foot guys running back and forth. Like, it's awesome. I used to play. It's fun. Like, I want to get 2K again. Like, I used to enjoy that. But just to, like, I like to watch fights better. Heaven and hell perspective, hell on earth, mirrors, boom. Question mark is, here we go.
Jose Shorty Torres, I will. You talking about, is that's got to be a boxer? Comatose Kush. Damn, yeah. Right down with what fucking weed you got, bro. Yeah, like I'm sorry to show y'all this bud too. Like if like because if I'm not smoking and I see weed anywhere, it's like why am I like? There's nothing worse than watching like a weed movie, a stoner movie, and you don't have weed or you don't have enough weed. It doesn't matter what the stoner movie is. If they're talking about weed and you don't got enough, it's torture. But then when you get it back, bro, it's that crack, bro. It is crack. It is crack. 100%. Not to give it such a bad connotation, you know, there's cannabis connoisseurs that would cringe at that, but for me, it is kind of that relationship. It just doesn't have the same bad effects, but I'm addicted to it. I'll admit it. Where's the meetings? I don't want to be clean though. I want to get clean for the purpose of getting my threshold back. Like, yeah, clean out my body, you know, exercise my vocal cords, you know, cleanse out my lungs, get my shit back. Because I know in the back of my head, once I get back to that smoking, that boy's gonna be open like Macaulay Culkin. That after save, smoking. Yeah, man. It's hard to watch me and not smoke, man, because I smoke like it's like a asthma inhaler, like, you know. Einstein wore the same clothes every day. Yeah, because he was fucking insane, dude. You know, if he was real, because I mean, I think they used to contribute or like attribute or assign genius discoveries to certain people, you know, because where's the fucking proof, man? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe I didn't go into any of the study, but it's like I don't know. Like, when they talk about these super geniuses, like you see a picture of some guy with some math on the wall. You know, I know that obviously there's genius shit going on, right? Clearly, look at the world around us. There's definitely real geniuses. But when I know, like just historically speaking, like there'll be some guy who claimed that he discovered a planet, and really it was some nerd guy in a room, and then the guy who says he discovered it is just a rich guy that was able to actually claim it and publish it. Same thing with museum dinosaur bones and museum discoveries is some rich people that stole that shit from some poor people and put their name on it. You know what I mean? So when you're talking about people get like, you got to think about time before NBA. Think about there was actually a time on Earth before there was this celebrity. You know, before Hollywood, before NBA, before hip hop. The only way to get world renown would be through some kind of philosophical discovery. If you're not just a politician, like, so the person that discovered this technology or the owner of this business or the creator of this theorem. So to me, that has so much tied to it. There's so much significance in that they wouldn't just be allowing just anybody to put their name next to these discoveries. So that's kind of the scary thing about it and that's the even go back to what I was uncovering on Nikola Tesla. Shout out to the LSD album. Is you got Benjamin Franklin, you got a list of other people who said that they've made these incredible inventions. Alexander Graham Bell. You got Eli Whitney with the cotton gin, which I hear it was a slave that created, and Eli Whitney was like, he's my slave, so this is my equipment, you know. So if it was made in my factory, it's my idea, you know. I didn't have to directly make it, but you know, I don't even know how the fuck I got to that. But yeah. Do I do my own masters? No, I got an engineer now. I used to mix all my own stuff back in the day. I started off mixing all my own bullshit, you know. A lot of my music that you've heard from me was mixed by me specifically. Um, Let me see. I had to mention why, Joel. Yeah, why? Yeah, I don't know where it's going now.
But basically, um, nah, this year has been the craziest year ever. 2020. Um, we lost Kobe. We lost 40 other rappers. We lost so many people this year. This was the year of COVID, the quarantine, the lockdown, the vaccination, the rise of Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and, the autonomous world. And I think all of this stuff is coming now specifically for a reason. And it's like, on this planet, it seems like humans, especially while I've had my eyes open, it's like all bad news, essentially. It's like, God damn, it's like, yeah, you'll have many miracles in your own life, but overall, it seems like Earth has been doing nothing but going deeper and deeper into hell. But I don't think the universe always works like that. Like, there is always balance. So there has to be a time where a whole lot of bad shit is happening, and there should also be a time where a lot of good shit is happening. Like, but I think that when there's a lot of chaos and a lot of stress and a lot of depression, that suits a materialistic world. When people are at a state of bliss and internal and eternal fulfillment, they don't need to buy anything. They don't need to be customers. They don't need to go to work. They don't need to worry. They don't need to sweat. They don't need to do anything but enjoy, right? And experience. That don't work for companies. So we're in a point right now where even if the universe was working in our favor, there's also forces that are working to make sure that we don't get to that evolution point, that we don't become the cattle or the sheep that knows it's a sheep. Like, you gotta keep it. All right, you gotta keep like, oh shit, like, oh, everything's changing now. So we got to make sure that our sheep still adhere to the gates. So 2020 is clearly seems to be like one of the years where if there wasn't COVID and there wasn't all this horrific madness, this would be a year where everybody would just be leveling up like crazy. It just works out numerically. Some of this shit got to be true. Like, we can't be having all these synchronicities and all these conspiracies for no reason. Like, this universe is not dull, and it's all this mechanism. It's all connected. It's all a system. It's all like, there ain't no coincidences in secret. There ain't no coincidence. It's just all, the universe was made perfectly, all the flaws included. You're not gonna change the world. You're not gonna kill our world too. They got us convinced that we're fucking up Earth. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Overpopulation. It takes 2 minutes of being in an airplane to not see cities no more and see nothing but trees and water. Most of Earth doesn't have humans on it. They got us fucked up, bro. Like, all of this is, and RIP to anybody that's lost their lives or anybody that's sick. I'm not saying people don't get sick. I'm just saying the symptoms are always the same, and people have always gotten sick. I remember when I was a kid, and I remember being sick when I was a little kid, and my eyes would be so filled with sleepy, I couldn't open them in the morning. You know that crust? So much mucus. I'm taking Robitussin. They're giving me fucking vaccines in school, and that was real sickness. It was like, flus and shit. Like, I would be having nightmares, horrific. And this is just, that's just a cold, baby. Oh, that's just a flu. Everything was a cold and a flu. Everything was allergies. Like, it was just these general terms we used to like. But then you look and it's like rhinovirus, H1N1, SARS, like, but it's always the same symptoms: sneezing, dizziness, lack of breath, sweating. So obviously that's how our bodies, as limited as they are, has the same process of illness. It's always the same. You're always going to get a fever because your body has to kill the virus, right? So it's like, There is no discerning, and they know that. They know if you get sick and you get some symptoms, you're gonna fucking panic. And as long as, bro, what are doctors and nurses doing? They're getting the blood tests. They get a hematologist to actually look at the blood, and all they're doing is counting things. They're looking at this. Yep, I see that. Yep. And then they run that, do a system that tells you what you're looking at, but it's all defined by man. It's like we're saying that, like there's some, like, and then there's no proof. Like they're showing us crazy like virtual images of this shit. Like this was my healthiest year, and I've been reckless, eating like, nigga, like what? No, bro, I don't believe none of this shit, bro. I don't fucking politics. I don't. No Trump, no Biden, none of them. Anybody they put in front of you, don't take the bait. It's like they're giving you a choice, yes or no, and you're choosing one because those are your only two choices. It's like, are you going to eat the shit or drink the piss? And you're picking the piss because you don't want to eat shit. To me, if you give me only those choices, I'm going to press the little X in the corner. I'm going to say, fuck you. I'm going to go about my life because you could forget about it. If you just turn off your TV and your social networking app, you forget that there's even a president. You forget all that shit. It just doesn't. You forget that there's any sickness, any of that. Like they try their best to remind you, but look at the birds, look at the squirrels. Like like they're still going. They're still getting it popping. Like not only that, but trees die every winter. Like why do we think that we're so different than nature? Like yes, like 4 seasons is proof that we're affected by nature. Like, so if winter is dark and cold enough to affect all of Earth like this, right? And make trees die and birds migrate, what do you think it's doing to us? Same thing with summer and spring and fall. Like everything, every change that Earth makes, being that it's this predominant, it's the body that we're embodied, it's the embodiment that we're in. The Earth, what Earth goes through, we go through too, psychically. It's just our bodies are so able to adapt at all moments that we don't really feel the residual effect. You know, it's kind of like how they say when you boil a frog, if you slowly rise the temperature because it's cold-blooded and it adapts, it doesn't know it's burning. It doesn't know it's even been in hot water until it's dead. And that's what we're doing. Like we're like, this is a conspiracy dream. This is beyond the realms of ridiculous, yo. This like right now, like gives me all like I'm completely frustrated with humans, you know, completely frustrated. You know, and I hate to say that, like, but I'm not hypersensitive when it comes to it. I have empathy for everybody that's lost their lives and got sick. I think like, and even on the song Character, I said caught the COVID and I didn't share it. I remember the first time I heard about COVID, it was like January of 2020, before when it was still in China and they were talking about it coming here. I got so sick. Like, I mean, like it was like 3 days I could hardly walk. Like I remember I was hallucinating. I was so sick. It was just ridiculous. Like, but I didn't go to the doctors. All I did was drink water and slept, you know, just sleep a lot, drink water. I was still smoking bud, of course, like an idiot. It was like one of the sickest I've ever been. But I just drank water and stayed to myself and just sweated it out. And I was good. Like, I think once you go to the doctor and they give you a diagnosis is when your body panics and you actually die. It's like, it's the diagnosis. It's the gnosis of dying. It's the knowledge to know you're dying. It's like when you tell your body that it's like anything your body hears is going to react to it. Like if you're having a great day and then you hear somebody you love died, it's going to change your body. Just hearing it in your mind, hearing like you're having a great day. Oh, your mom got hit by a car. Your whole body state, now your heart's beating, now you're in a certain state. So you're fine. You got a little cough. Doctor tells you got COVID. Ooh, damn. Now your whole life, now you're dying because your body's panicking and it's like, oh shit. You know, it's like, that's kind of my belief. Like they find me, I'm gonna just die. Surgery, certain you need hospital for certain people. People are already in. I'm not saying don't go to hospital, don't use doctors. Like, do what you do. I'm just saying for me, unless it's dire straits or I need surgery, I break my arm, I need my shit rebalanced. Like, you know, I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm staying here. I'm just staying to myself, drink my water, stay healthy, get some fucking fresh air, and then just think. Like, I use my mind. Like, I'll just sit there and be strong and just see the inside of my body psychically and just be like, all right, it's dying now. I'm killing everything in my body. Just like that internal thought. I think it works. So it works. Placebo, 100%. Ginger and lemon, yes, ultimate cure. When I was a kid, my grandma would give me ginger ale. Drink. I was convinced that it actually worked. I thought that the bubbles, like if you have strep throat, like and you drink ginger ale, I thought the bubbles were somehow massaging the disease out of your fucking tonsils, and like you drink enough of it, you get that roughness that I thought that was curing me, so it did. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Birds still singing, yeah. That's all it is, man. Mucus is the only virus. Yeah, mucus. Mucus is interesting, man, because it's supposed to be there to like coat your stomach from the acids, but your stomach only produces more acid when you're eating toxic things. So it's like your body produces more mucus to protect your body, but then you have too much mucus, and then it gets trapped in your body because now like everything's based on how much waste you have in your body, especially the more you grow up. Like, to me, nothing happens until I get all the shit out of me. You know what I mean? It's like the whole morning routine is about clearing myself from the day before and then going as long as I can without any food. And then when I finally do eat, it's like a celebratory thing. And I'm like, because I get so lethargic after eating. Doesn't really matter what it is, just my body is trying to digest something, and that activity takes away from everything else. So, yeah, yo. But definitely go and get that album, Manifest Destiny music.com. Go get that. It's exclusive to the website right now. Word of mouth is the best thing right now. You guys have the exclusive ability to say that you guys were the first to hear my fucking music, man. Because I'm not going to stop. And the creativity ain't going to stop. You know what I mean? Even if you guys don't hear from me from a while, that just means I'm working on something. So I appreciate you guys again. We got the vinyls. Like I said, I'm doing the signed vinyls right now, so hit me up about that. Cash App is up there. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for the love, man. Like, it's been I can't thank y'all enough, man. I can't thank y'all enough. And is there gonna be a new? Okay, let's talk about that before I leave. 2021 is gonna be filled with a lot of bottom. I'm not slowing down. Shout out to Soul Messiah, legendary producer. Shout out to Cyrock. I'm gonna be on their album. They got she's actually dropping a deluxe album coming up, but they got an album. Soul Messiah's dropping an album, and I think Cyrock is the executive producer. But I'm gonna be on that album. Also, we got something that we're working on exclusively. I'm gonna be working with them. Cambatta. Expect that 2021. Barshins, me and Master Sin, me and I'm gonna do a new Visionary. We got the Lost Files for LSD. We got the so there's many songs I didn't put on LSD that I haven't released. There's many songs that didn't make it to the Porch series that I'm gonna release. Basically, it's gonna be the grand cleansing for me next year. I'm gonna just empty out the archives. So my old computer actually died that I have like my archive, my whole entire life of music is all on one computer. I just need to get that shit backed up. So if you guys know any really good computer people, let me know. I've been dragging my feet on it because it's kind of like, it's like, lifting a rock to see the bugs underneath or something. It's like some weird feeling I have about trying or resurrected, even though I know it's
yeah, man.
it's gonna happen, yo. Like, I have faith that the world will know who I am very soon. Very soon. I'm not gonna stop, and I'm enjoying it where I am right now. I enjoy it. Not enough to stay though, so don't block my blessings, please. When you imagine me in piles of gold and stuff like that. Like, please. And I'll return the favor. Just hit me up. If we got business, let me know. If we don't, still let me know. The best way to contact me, hit me up on IG, hit me up on uh shit. IG, email. You can hit me up teamcambatta@gmail. But yeah, Instagram and email, teamcambatta@gmail. Or yeah, just you send a donation, send your email, and I'll hit you up. But yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be knocking out some features that I got this upcoming week. So if we got some features we gotta do, hit me up. Remind me what we gotta do. And if we haven't worked, hit me up if you want to work. Let me know what's good. I'm gonna try to be getting all of that done soon. But again, manifestdestiny.com, manifestdestinymusic.com, or Black Magic Music with a K, Black Magic with a K music.com. You can get my whole back catalog at cambattamusic.com. I'm giving you a lot of .coms right now. If you want to know feature price and what to do, just hit me up, DM me on Instagram. I'm gonna try to get to that. Sometimes I don't run my Instagram, sometimes I do. But I'm gonna be going through it for the next 48 hours. So now's the best time to reach me. So yeah. Happy holidays for those that celebrate. And thank you again for everything. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna get going. I still haven't eaten tonight. I feel like my brain is fucking silly putty right now. But like I said, Manifest Destiny, Low Deluxe, Cambatta, Black Magic. LSD is still out. COVID is still out. Greatest albums of my life. 2 albums during coronavirus. 2 albums. Let's go. Cambatta. Peace.